Hello and welcome back or welcome to my channel. I'm Susan Lynn. I'm a psychic and a medium. Today we're going to be talking politics and we're going to be talking about the first day, the first full day of the Democratic National Convention. Holy Chuck Converse. Holy moly moly. Okay, well, it was quite the national convention, wasn't it? I am wearing the closest color I can find to Brat Summer Green. If you don't know what that is, please Google it. Brat Summer, Kamala Harris. You will be all caught up. And it also explains why I'm doing this video, and it explains what the hell happened last night. Now, I did a video a couple of weeks ago. Who knows at this point? I don't know. Where I said, gosh, I think Kamala Harris wants to do a different type of convention. And I think she wants to have less boring establishment Democrats there. Long gone are the days of the wonk. You guys know what I'm talking about. The wonky, nasally, overeducated, all about the spreadsheet, thinking maybe Dukakis or something, just this kind of like, this is what's going on. And this is, no, we're not about that anymore. We are about Brat Summer. We're about doing things differently. And last night showed me again how Kamala Harris is taking these timelines two at a time. If you think about steps and you think about people that somehow just leap 2 and 3 steps at a time as they go up the stairs, they have this rhythm, they have this ability to leap. This is Kamala Harris. She absolutely got a hold of the control center of the DNC and said, this is what's going down. And I know, and I don't know if this is going to be public or not, but I know that everything changed in the last 2 weeks as far as the DNC goes. I know this, in the 3D world, because people that I follow on social media all of a sudden got credentials to be there. Kids, literally 20-year-old kids, are there live streaming from the convention. Every kind of person you can imagine, people that used to be journalists that then went out on their own, are there live streaming from the convention. This is new. This is different. This is different, you guys. Again, this is the disintegration of media. We talked about some of these institutions sort of being disintegrated. Media is one of them. Established anything is going to get a rewrite. And if you're willing to rewrite yourself, if you're willing to change, to adapt, you're good to go. If you're not willing to change or adapt, you are a dinosaur and you will be extinct. This is the energy. Kamala Harris is riding the wave of our prayers. Again, the spirit guide said in 2 different videos, she's the avatar. Harris Walz is the avatar of our energy. We brought this to fruition. We created the wave, and the right person, Harris, stepped up and could ride the wave. She is the person, she is the woman, she is the president-elect of our time. And Walz is there to support her. But make no mistake, we created this. This is our prayers, our energy, our manifestation becoming real before our eyes. Now, not only that, as if that wasn't enough, right? As if that wasn't enough. Not only that, because this energy is supercharged, it is literally, I don't know, I don't even understand it. I don't understand anything of what I'm seeing. I don't, but I can tell you what I'm seeing energetically. Energetically, This energy has so much power, and it's pent up power. It's pent up desire from Hillary Clinton. Perhaps even from Carter losing the second time, Gore losing, Hillary losing. It's this pent up energy of we didn't get what we manifested. And maybe we went back and tried to heal our wounds or understand what happened, or maybe even accept what happened. There was a part of us that said, no, no, we're not going to accept this. This is this injustice, this racial injustice, this class warfare, this warfare on women, this war on our environment, this war on our kids, on our rights as workers, so much more. We're not really, no. The answer is no, and no is a full sentence. Ladies and gentlemen, even if you're a rabbit watching this because your mom is tuned in, whoever, whatever, the guides want to say, sentient beings, sentient beings, this is your manifestation come to life. Now, because of this pent up power, this pent up energy we didn't even know was there. The guides want to call it untapped potential. We've tapped into an otherwise unknown and untapped potential. And it's like rocket fuel. So now what's happening is, and I have the door open because my dog wants to go in and out the door, and you guys see her look longingly out the door. In my house where I live, this is not where I live, this is an Airbnb. She has a dog door. So she is the queen of her backyard, inside couch, whatever the heck she wants. So when I'm here, I honestly leave the door open and pray that it's her and not a bear. But anyway, where was I? I don't know. I don't know where I was. The untapped potential is causing this rocket fuel of energy to have more power than anybody thought that it could have. Even Kamala Harris. I mean, Kamala Harris is just as surprised as I am, as you are, as we all are. We're all surprised. We didn't know this hidden potential was there. We didn't know this pent up power was going to be a gusher. It's a gusher. And so, for that reason, this changes some things. So we go back to the last year of my predictions, which have been Kamala Harris is going to be president. And also, she's not going to run for office. She's going to get the baton handed to her. Here we are doing that. Also, they told me that she'd be the law and order president. And they showed me, and this was many years ago, honestly. This was when Biden hadn't even won the presidency. This is when they gave me this information. So, but what's interesting is that they told me when she's going to be the law and order president, they showed me unrest. And I've talked about this off and on for years. Civil unrest. And they told me that she would be very fair and that she would put whoever, I mean, I know she's not going to be the one putting people in jail, but this is what they told me. Okay. So if you got a problem with this, 1-800 Spirit Guides, press 1 for complaints. Keep pressing 1. It's busy. Okay. She would put people in jail on the left, people in jail on the right, meaning she's going to support a crackdown on anything that's outside of the law. Okay. Like this woman doesn't play. Here's the law. Protest peacefully. Get your permits. Be a kind, good neighbor. Don't trash things. Don't leave a mess. Do it right. Do it with respect. That's what they're telling me. Respect the law. Respect your neighbor. Respect the community you're in. Respect the law enforcement that you're dealing with. And respect the other side, whoever is counter protesting. Okay. Like as long as you handle yourself like that, you good. You don't want to get crazy and start knocking windows or getting out of control, you're going to get arrested and we don't care. Okay. So now, why that's important is because, as if on cue, here she is, like one of her first, I think it was within her first handful of speeches, she was heckled by a pro Palestinian group and she let it go. You could hear it on the audio of the recording. So it was you couldn't exactly maybe make out exactly what they were saying, but you could hear it. She let it go. Then they said something else and then she looked at them and she said, "I met with your group," meaning, I respected you. I met with you. I don't have to meet with you. I mean, that's kind of what was implied. Like, I'm running for president. I don't need to meet with you, but I did. I did. I met with you. We talked. Okay, good. Like and then she went on with her speech. They heckled her a third time. That's when Mamala showed up. Like, I thought you had to actually have kids or be a teacher to get that look in your eye, but she got that crazy look y'all get in your eyes and looked at them people like, "Are you sure you want to keep going?" I mean, this is warning number 1. The look would be warning number 1. You want to keep going? And they did. And she said, "You keep talking like that, you're going to elect Trump." And they shut up. Because the point is, what is your end game? Is your end game to elect Trump? Is that why you heckling me? Whose side are you on? I already met with you in good faith. I gave you my word in good faith. I've set them for a ceasefire. You have nothing to prove that my word isn't, you know, backed up, that it isn't real, that it isn't going, that I don't stand behind it. You have nothing to prove that. Why are you heckling me? So right off the bat, as soon as she becomes eligible, running for president, boom, she gets the heckle. Next thing, here we are, convention, and there's crowds of people outside of the DNC convention heckling, trying to climb over the fences, trying to act a fool. And I thought, here it is, right? Here's the energy. Like, they didn't waste any time. They brought this energy, like, as soon as she popped up as leader, it popped up as opposition. Like, this is her lesson. Okay. This is her lesson. But here's what I want to tell you guys. This is what's blowing my mind. Now, I've been getting this message, but you know me, like, I have a deal. Like, you got to tell me 3 times, or I've got to see 3 signs, or I'm not going to just run to the races with one little bitty message or one sign. I got to make sure that it really isn't, just a fluke. Okay. So I've been getting this message enough that I feel confident enough to talk about it to you guys, which is that vision that they gave us in the very beginning of the video, where she's hopping steps like 2, 3 at it, leaping, they want to say, continuously leaping over things by leaps and bounds, is what they would say. That same energy may allow her to leap over this lesson that she has to learn. Now, in all of our lives, we all have lessons. And half of the time, more than half of the time, you can learn the lesson without ever experiencing the lesson. You can learn the lesson by either energetically saying, "Oh, this is setting up for me. I feel this energy coming. I'm going to do the work in myself, and I'm going to head this lesson off at the pass." Once I do the work in myself, the reason for the lesson disappears. Okay. The other way is, "Oh, this lesson, I feel like this lesson is coming. Like, I know these protesters are going to come for me because I'm new, I'm untested. They want to test me, they want to see what they can get." Also, we all know that a lot of these protesters are infiltrated by people that are paid or have some other reason for being there to cause mayhem and chaos. So she's like, "Okay, I'm going to deal with this really quickly." Like, she knew, she got the guidance that if I allow them to continue protesting my entire presidency, I'm going to get dogged by it. Like it's going to just follow me around for 4 years. It's going to mar my presidency. And she's made a decision that she's not going to do it. And again, goes back to the law and order president. It goes back to the energy of knock heads, right? Like I met with you in good faith. You have no reason to think that my word is not genuine. I've given you a second warning and a third warning, and the fourth warning is going to be not good. Okay. Cause I have no patience for you. I got things to do. I understand the words they're saying is mandate. I have a mandate from the American people, meaning I have so much popularity that I have a mandate and I'm going to run with that mandate. I'm going to get these things done. And I can't be slowed down by some malcontents that most of them aren't even really with that. They're not truly protesters, they're malcontents. I believe Harris has a huge heart. She's very empathic. And I believe that Harris and Biden, or Biden and Harris, are going to get a ceasefire done. And I believe that they're going to get this done by December. So there's not going to be much more reason to protest. Now, I'm not saying she's always going to have people coming at her because the opposition is always going to want to come at her. But what I'm saying is this isn't going to be the thing I saw. It's not going to be the timeline that I saw. The timeline I saw was much more unrest in the streets, much more clashing between Americans. I mean, real clashing, just mayhem, right? Chaos. Not going to happen. It's just not going to happen because she's leaping 2 and 3 steps at a time. She's not going to give any air to that to let it fester and blow up. She's just not. She's actually putting all of her energy towards joy, but also towards real, solutions for people that would otherwise be unhappy, right? So while you over here unhappy, she's over here fixing the reason why you're unhappy. Then you have no reason to be unhappy. That's it. That's it in a nutshell. So in that way, things that I saw as potentials, I don't think are going to happen now. Let's talk about it. 6 months ago, I was seeing, wait, you can't change horse. One moment, please. What? Okay, whatever. Why? Because I went back 6 months and then you went a whole you just changed horses. Like they got off a horse, put it in the barn, went and got them another horse, and now I'm on a whole nother horse. And I am not that person. I want to finish the horse that I came in on. Please. So, no, I'm not doing that either. Not doing it. They want to talk about Hillary. Then before that, they wanted to talk about the opposition. I'm still over here on feeling good on Kamala Harris. I was feeling good. I was ready. Okay. Okay, yes, I'm going to finish it. Okay, I got it. I got the stream back. Hallelujah, praise the Lord. Okay, cuz it's important to Susan. Okay. So what I was going to say was 6 months ago I see how they got there now. Okay. I started seeing chaos. The, I predicted Kamala would be president. I wasn't sure whether she would do it before this election or after the election, but I knew it was within 6 months, say, of, like 3 months before, 3 months after, kind of like in that timeline. That's what I was feeling. So what I saw was, why do they want me to talk about that? I will come back to it. I swear to God. Okay. What I saw was a delay. because it matters. I'm just going to say this and then we can go wherever you want to go. Just let me get this out, please, beloved God. I saw a delay in her getting, the guys want to say anointed, but anyway, her getting appointed, whatever the word is, whatever it is, confirmed. I saw a delay. I just need to get this out of my mouth. Because she's taking these steps 2 and 3 at a time, and she's jumping the timelines. She's dealing with problems like that. Like, geez, I don't even know how she's doing it. I mean, mainly it's us. Our energy is, keeping her high above everything, and her energy matches our energy, and she's surfing it. So this is a whole manifestation happening. But my point is that there could be a possibility of no delay. I'm not going to say I'm not going to say right now that it's the majority possibility. Like, I'm not going to say that it's 80 or 90%, but I'm going to say that there's now, like my last video, I think I said 80% chance of a delay. Now I'm going to say 40% chance of a delay. She just reduced it by half. The possibility of these losers creating some kind of judicial mess to delay the confirmation. She reduced it by 40%, by half. I don't know how. I mean, I could tell you how. Let me tell you how. Because she has a mandate. Because the Republicans are looking at this going, holy mother of God, this is a locomotive. It's full steam ahead. There's no way we're going to stop it. If we try to stop this, we're going to be under the wheels of the locomotive. And what do I always tell you guys? That they tell me when I go into the energy of the Heritage Foundation or Harlan Crow or whoever they are, they always say, or the Federalist Society, they always say, we wish to live to fight another day. Not to mean that they're going to, be unalived. They hope to stay relevant to be able to fight another day. They would rather retreat back into their hidey holes, regroup, figure out what they did wrong, try to find a new leader, try to rebuild, right? That would be better for them. This is what they've done since the Civil War. They've retreated, covered themselves up, most of them with white hoods, and then did their work until they felt like they had an opening. Then they pop out like roaches at nighttime, run amok, scare the hell out of the rest of us. And then we get out some raid in the form of Kamala Harris, and they run back in. Okay, so now they're running back in. If they don't get out of the way of her locomotive, she will flatten them. What's the difference? What does that mean in real speak? It means that the complete end of the Republican Party, not the shattering, not the breaking, the end, zero end of the Republican Party. And I did a video on that 6 months ago, or back, no, not 6 months ago, 12, 14 months ago in June, talking about the end of the Republican Party. We are here. So if these dummies decide, and sometimes they can't help themselves. I mean, some of them just cannot help themselves. Like, they're just that kind of stupid. They may jump out in front of her. And I'm telling you, this locomotive has no brakes. There's no brakes. There's no slowing down. She's going to take every hairpin turn at full speed, every uphill at full speed, every downhill at full speed. There's no stopping. There's no slowing down. It's a locomotive. It's powered by us, by you, by me, by our wishes and our dreams and our heartbreaks and our nightmares. All of that is the fuel. And now that we understand that we have a leader who's ready to really stand up and out for us, and I'm not saying nothing about Biden because he did stand out and up for us. He did. He was the right leader for the time. He was 100%, 1,000% the right person. As a matter of fact, I think it was ordained. But I'm glad that he stepped down because she's the one who's here. It's like we're meeting each other at exactly the apex. The timing couldn't be better. So, because of this mandate, because of this energy, because of this locomotive, they may get out of the way. They may say, we're not challenging this in court. We're going to let this go, or we're going to challenge it, but we're not really going to give it, we're not going to put all our money on red. We're going to put Donald Trump on red, and then we're going to run away. The money has already left Donald Trump. The actual American money, the American support has left him. They see a loser when they see one. His own people are leaving him. He's on the downhill, the downhill slide into nothing, into nothingness, irrelevance. Sad. It's truly sad. So here we are. If the Republican powers that be do the quick math on the back of the envelope and say, it's not worth it. Let's let this locomotive run. When it runs out of steam, then we'll be there. That's what they do. They retreat, they conserve, they reserve, they rebuild, then they come back. They're like, again, the spirit guides are showing me, because I think I watched 2 of these movies my whole life, and that was enough for me. But scary movies where the monster runs into the woods, and it's going to be back. There's going to be, a number 3, 4, there's going to be multiple editions of this movie, So that's them. That's the Republicans. Will they save themselves to come back and rule another day? So I think there's really a better possibility as we continue. And all this has happened in 1 month. Are we clear about that, about the timeline, about how this has all happened in 1 month? It's amazing. Again, she's leaping over the timelines. So that's good news. That's really good news. I just think that there's a chance here that she jumps over a lot of the bad crap that I thought she was going to have to deal with. Now, it does not mean bad things won't happen. I've already told y'all, check your ticket. If you're thinking that this was supposed to be nirvana, if this was supposed to be chill, you in the wrong planet, honey. You need to check your ticket. You came to the wrong place. I will never forget, not even that long ago, when the spirit guide showed me the scales of justice, which we always see static in a picture. We always see them like this. When is a scale ever equal? It's always going up and down. It's always adjusting. The scales of justice are never going to be equal. They're always going to be adjusting. This is something we need to understand. Think about that when 45 gets his free rides. The scales of justice are never equal. However, what's about to happen is the scales of justice are about to be more equal to the downtrodden, more equal to the underdog, less equal to the billionaire class or the millionaire class or the white men class or the men class or whatever it is that's been hogging all the good stuff. There's a new sheriff in town. That scale is about to be very, very different. Okay. It's another thing is pendulums, right? Like it's always swinging left to right. Does it ever just sit in the middle? You know what they just said? If something is sitting in the middle and not moving, it's dead. It dead. Energy's always moving. If the energy's not moving, it's dead. Okay. So I think that's fascinating. Now, let's talk about whatever they wanted to talk about that I had a whole fit about, which was partly Hillary. They wanted to talk about Hillary. She's 100%. I love. I think that Hillary went through the dark night of the soul. Like obviously, right when she lost, she had to come to terms with that inequality, that's justice scales that were just not correct. And also the the guides are using the word villainization. I mean, maybe she was felt villainized. But I would say she coming to terms with the fact that it was it was robbed. I got to come up with a new name because you know how they be watching us on this platform. It was robbed. She was robbed. Okay. So she has made this complete like 360-degree circle energetically that now she's like and I don't want to say she's old, but I'm saying her energy is one of the wise elder. She's ready to be the wise elder for Kamala. She's because she's an attorney, because she's lived it. She's lived it. She's lived it all. She's lived, I think, 5 or 10 lifetimes just in the period of being, wife of a governor to today, like 10 different lifetimes. So she's going to be very helpful with Kamala Harris with this VOTE shenanigans these people are trying to pull off because she's lived it. She has her own ideas about what happened. She knows what happened. She's a brilliant thinker. She's a very sharp mind. And she took it upon herself to do her own research in her own privacy. She cracked the code. This is what they're telling me. This is news to me. She cracked the code as to how they robbed her. I'm hearing the words white paper, which is when someone I guess a research paper that's written about something, maybe it's not published, but she has the goods, she has the receipts. She has shared them with everybody, with Obama, with Biden, and also with Kamala Harris. And I would say out of everybody, Kamala Harris is the one who said, "Let me see that." And I see Kamala Harris in like by a fireplace, like reading the report and then going back through the report with a Sharpie and then going back through the report with a highlighter and then going back through the report with those little sticky things. She basically took the report that Hillary made about what happened not only to her but to Gore. She took that report and made it into a action plan. And that's what they're using right now. That's why they wanted me to talk about Hillary. That's what they're using right now. You might not have heard this, but Kamala Harris's team hired Mark Elias. If you don't know him, he's an attorney who, on his own dime, literally separate from any agency, like a lone wolf, the guides are saying, went after any state that tried to do some shenanigans with the VOTE. And I'm telling you, he's got a really high success rate of taking these states and people to court and winning. He single-handedly has, in many ways, not saved our democracy, but caught it in a free fall. I don't know why there's a difference. He didn't save it, but he did keep it from going all the way to the bottom of the elevator shaft or the bottom of the well. So she's hired him. He's on her team now. She's got an incredible team of attorneys. And maybe this is also another reason why these two things I'm talking about. Maybe that's why they wanted me to, maybe that's why they wanted in their grand wisdom that I don't have. Listen, I'm a human. I've got like a focus this big. Spirit guides have got a focus that's bigger than, the horizon to horizon. And they're trying to pile all that into my little brains. Like sometimes this is not, I don't know who they chose over here, but they need to understand. These two things are going to go into the decision making of the powers that be in the Republicans that say, yeah, this is the locomotive from hell. We don't want to be crushed under this locomotive because we'll never be able to put ourselves back together enough to be recognizable and to be effective. It would be better if we jump out of the way of this locomotive, let it go on by for however long that is, 4 years, 5 years, 8 years, 12 years, whatever it is. We would rather save our network, our infrastructure, our donors. We would rather retreat and keep all of that intact. If we get crushed under her locomotive, we're going to lose it. We're going to lose our donors. We're going to lose the infrastructure. We're going to lose everything. But the funny thing about it is that they've tied themselves to the orange buffoon, and he is a walking one cell amoeba, and that frankly is a slap to amoebas everywhere, right? He's like a toddler. He's toddling in front of it, going, oh, last thing he ever saw was the light. Be it her light on her locomotive or the light from where, whatever it is, I don't know. But my point is that because they've allied themselves to him, they've I don't know what that they show me picture. They've I don't know, whatever it is, allied themselves to him. It's hard for them to disconnect from him. They're trying. They're trying. I've read on this. What if they get rid of Donald and they bring in somebody new? That's what they're trying to do. Right now, it's not about beating Kamala. It's not. Not. It's about getting some seats, saving some down ballot seats. Because if they don't save the down ballot seats, that is the equivalent of the train running over the Republican Party. They didn't save the infrastructure. They didn't save the seats. They have nothing to come back to. It's all gone. Does that make sense to you guys? If they keep their wagon hitched to him, she is going to take the whole thing, and there won't be a Republican Party. It will literally have to spring up from the ashes. Now, I've done a video about this, again, the end of the Republican Party, but I've talked about this a lot. I'll take this opportunity as a public service announcement to let you know not to trust Grant. Don't, yes, exactly. Don't, why, folks, why? Don't trust Liz Cheney. Don't trust Liz Cheney. She's not your friend. She's not a patriot. She voted for Trump over 94% of the time. Don't trust Hogan. He's been anointed by Trump. Do not trust these people. They will remake themselves. They will come out as just slightly right of center. They will literally make themselves, put lipstick on a pig. Also, Adam Kinzinger, same thing. They're not patriots. Is Pence a patriot? Pence did the same thing they did. They're very much far right Republicans. Do not trust them. The other person they were trying to say, and they kept interrupting me, was Lindsey Graham. I don't trust Lindsey Graham. Do you trust Lindsey Graham? I don't trust Lindsey Graham as much as I could pick that man up and throw him. But for some reason, they need me to say that. Don't trust Lindsey Graham. This might be because Lindsey Graham is about to do a dirty on Trump or do a dirty on somebody. He's about to flip or come out against somebody. Again, once all these people figure out that their anointed king is going down, they're going to flee. They're going to be calling 1-800 Jack Smith. They're going to be calling 1-800, please let me beg you to not come after me. I'm really a nice person. I'm really not a right-wing crazy person. Don't get rid of me. Don't come after me. You're going to hear all of them trying to remake themselves. Watch it happen in real time, because I'm telling you guys right now, you're going to see it in real time. How many of these people have said, I don't like Trump. Trump is the worst thing that's ever happened. And then for some reason, 24 hours later, they change their mind and they're like, oh, I love Trump. Trump is a great guy. Well, they got the call. We've got dirt on you. You better go find some video camera somewhere to talk into and say how great Trump is, or else our dirt will be public. And the dirt is not just dirt. Who cares anymore, right? We don't care if you wear a dress. We don't care. I mean, the Republicans care, but the rest of us don't care. The dirt would be criminal. That's why these people dance and sing and do whatever they need to do for their puppet master, because the dirt is criminal. It's not just simply an embarrassment. These people have no embarrassment left. They don't care about being embarrassed. They don't care that they're on video lying. They don't care about their reputation, because their followers are brain dead cult members, and all they're hearing is what they want to hear. They have confirmation bias, so bad they literally cannot hear anything other than what they want to hear. Now, how you break through that is you help people. This is where we started in the beginning of this video. Kamala Harris is going to help people. She's going to help those people. She's going to help the Magas. I've seen this, not to say that these people were Magas, but they were Republicans. And I mean, no reason to be Republican if you understand what I'm saying to you. Didn't have a high tax bracket, were not heterosexual, yet there they are, Republicans, and, not crazy about it, but, like they voted, like they didn't have the flag, they didn't have the stickers, but they voted. Guess what? When Obama finally passed the Affordable Care Act, and they could get insurance because these were business owners, because a lot of business owners thought they needed to be Republicans. When they could get insurance for the first time, guess what? They became Democrats. And not only did they become Democrats, now, however many years later, 8, 10 years later, they're rabid Democrats. Pro-Biden, anti-Trump, anti-Republican, pro-Kamala Harris. I mean, rabid. The kind of people that get on Facebook and tell you where you're going to go and how to get there if you're a Republican, they saw the light, y'all. So this is how you can break through someone's mindset. Again, they weren't MAGAs, they weren't cult members, but you do give them a reason to understand why a Democrat is a better option for you, and they'll switch. Now, what the guides are telling me is the cult members, to stay a cult member, you have to have a steady replenishment of your bias, is what they're saying. So, you need to see your cult leader. You need to be fed that narrative. That's your lifeblood. That's what you've decided is your sun that sets and rises every day, right? So he's going to disappear. He's already not doing the rallies. He's not. He's nowhere to be found. He's on True Social 50 times a day, especially now, but he's dwindling. His life force is dwindling, his relevance is dwindling, his power is dwindling, and his his cult MAGA followers are going to get less and less of that influence. Now, what they just told me was the influence peddlers want to capture, so pay attention to this, especially if you have somebody in your life. The influence peddlers want to capture and transfer those cult members to a new cult. It's much easier. Okay, so you're going to see the Q people rise up. You're going to see a new, I think there's going to be a new thing like the Q. It might have a new name, but I feel like that's going to be announced or revealed by November. So they're hoping to take those people and just transfer them to a new puppeteer because they never liked the fact that Trump was the owner of these pocketbooks and these voters and these minds. They need not somebody quite so pig-headed and egotistical. They need a blank slate, like a Pence or even like a Vance, but Vance isn't liked. So it's not going to be Vance. It's not going to be Nikki because she's not liked either and she's too smart for them. They need a blank, empty skull that can go out there and, parrot the things and then just be the receiver of the puppeteer's control. Okay. So you're going to be looking at apparently there's a new controller, puppeteer coming in around November. It might be as soon as October, but there's something about November, especially mid-November even. So the bottom line is this, right? The bottom line is that new puppeteer isn't going to be able to scoop them all up because as the information starts to recede and then the Democrats' energy is surging, they're going to switch over to the Democrats. In my last video, I talked to you guys about how this is a rock star status. Like some of these people have lobotomies and they're just interested in the winning team. They're interested in the excitement. They just want to be able to wear cool clothes and be around people. And it's the same. I hate to say it, but some of these cult people could become cult people for Kamala Harris. That's their choice. She's not a cult leader, but the energy is so strong, so exciting, so intoxicating. Some of these MAGA people are going to come over just because they like it. It's like, being in a concert, being in, and all these people are like, yay, right? You know what I mean? That's cool. It's great because when they come over, they're going to start waking up. They're going to start coming into reality and they're going to start saying, oh, wow, this tax break really is helping me. Wow, this actually really good. Oh, wow, my kid can get help at school and my kid really needed this help. And oh, wow, I can buy a house now because of this. And oh, this conversion, we're going to convert them from being in a cult to being a real thinking human and to realize from the vantage point of a real thinking human, this is better for me. And they're going to think back at that time when they were a Trumper as like being in a cloud. And they're not going to be able to describe it. They're going to say, I was just confused. It was just a really confusing time. It was exciting. And I liked the community and I liked belonging. But it was really confusing. But I like this better. So that's interesting too, right? So I think Kamala's going to convert, say, 15% of the cult members, the real crazy-eyed cult members, into the Democratic Party. And this fulfills that vision that I saw before all this even went down, before the pandemic, before everything. When the spirit guides told me, they showed me walking and having an idea, an impulse to look behind me. I look behind me, and there's this guy walking up, and looks like he's just been through, hell and back. And he's like, "Gosh, you got to help me." And I'm like, "What's going on?" He's like, I lost everything. I lost my family. I lost my business or my career, whatever it was, my respect, my standing. I lost my money. I got wrapped up. I got wrapped up in this thing and I lost everything. And can you help me? And the spirit guides told me the lesson here is compassion. It's not it's not to say, "Well, you big dummy, you ruined everything. You caused this." It's not about, beating them up for their stupidity. If they come to you with real sorrow, with real understanding, and it's real, then yeah, compassion. So as these people come into the Democratic Party and say, I don't know what happened. Like, I don't know why. You can say, yeah, it's okay. Put your arm around them. It's okay. Come on in, right? Bring them into our tent. I already told y'all we got everybody in this tent. Everybody is in this tent, including now MAGA cultist. Why not? The Democrats always said they had a big tent. We have a big tent. Now, if somebody comes up to you and they're yelling and screaming at you and they're trying to be crazy, that's obviously not what we're talking about here. We're talking about somebody who has been broken down, who's hit rock bottom, who's saying, "Gosh, I really screwed up. Like, I screwed up. What do I do now?" Well, I'm not going to fix your life for you. I'm not going to give you money. I'm not going to go call your boss, but I will allow you to come into our tent where you can sit at the table with all of us and we can all share our stories and we can all understand where we're coming from and we can all be fellowship together. I'm not personally responsible for you, but I'm allowing you to come into our community where, as a community, we can all share a little bit. We can all get through this. So I'm channeling. I don't know what I've just said for 45 minutes, 53 minutes. Hopefully it was helpful. Thank you for staying to the end. We'll see what happens, but I'm really pumped about everything that is happening. I'm cautiously optimistic, is what the spirit guides say. I want to be 100% optimistic, but I'm cautiously optimistic. I mean, I know that she's going to win. Um, I just have never seen anything like this. I've never seen timelines. I've never seen somebody jump over timelines like this. It's the other thing they said was compressed. I don't understand that, but the timelines have been compressed. That's what they woke me up with this morning. So I guess if you think about something being this big and it takes this long, it takes if something is a mile long, it takes you a certain amount of time to traverse the mile. But if that mile is compressed into an eighth of a mile, you're going to travel it much faster. So the timelines have been compressed. And I'm going to tell you guys, this isn't just for Harris. This is for us. This energy is for us. It's for you. It's for me. It's for our communities. Everybody's benefiting from this energy. Everybody. So in your own life, understand that the timelines are also compressing. You might be able to move further faster than you thought you were going to be able to. So be careful about what you're manifesting. Be careful about what you're thinking about, because if you're really doom and gloom, you're going to bring that on faster and heavier. So when you find yourself being self-critical or down or doom and gloom, please say, "Whoops, let me just stop that. Let me watch a Harris video. Let me watch Tim Walz. Let me find something that's going to raise my reality." Because you guys, in 1 month, that's what this country's been able to do. And if that can happen in 1 month for an entire country, just think what 1 month can do for you if you choose different choices. Kamala Harris said, yes, I will run. She had to say yes. She could have said no. She had to say yes. Say yes to you. See what happens. Bet on you. See what happens. Okay? Take really good care. I'll see you guys again really soon. I've got a busy week this week. I'm doing a lot of videos with different people. Plus, we have Way Out Wednesdays or Wisdom on Wednesdays coming up. And I'll be back because the energy is on fire. So I'll be back. Terminator style, maybe even. Take really good care. For entertainment purposes only.